Hello, this is meteorologist Brad Winter from Region Weather Live, a YouTube source for weather across the Dakotas, Minnesota, and we're going to do just a quick little update to give you an idea of what we're expecting as far as those rain showers and thunderstorms going into the weekend. So we've had some pretty nice days, but this little area, this low pressure system here is actually going to slide off to the north and west. If you remember my video here from a couple of days ago, I showed you that was going to happen. And what that's going to do is actually sag in some cooler air across kind of that northern parts of North Dakota, northern Minnesota, as it's kind of associated with that low pressure systems that continues to slide off to the north and west. Meanwhile, the south will remain fairly mild, but eventually we're going to see some energy ejecting out of the southwest and pushing northeastward and pushing this low out of here and allowing some of that warm air eventually to get back in. But unfortunately, what that will also bring is going to be those chance of rain and thunderstorms into the weekend. Your Friday morning is going to start off a little cool here up in north with upper 30s to low 40s for your morning temperatures. And then, of course, as you go through the daytime hours and you get into the afternoon, you know, it only warms up really into the low 60s, maybe even some upper 50s across the far northern parts of Minnesota. And then, of course, across the North Shore, we still have those east and southeasterly winds pulling some of those cold temperatures off the lake, where we're still seeing highs only 45 to 50 degrees. But further to the south, temperatures a little bit warmer. So that's going to allow some of these thunderstorms to develop. So when we start off Friday morning, maybe a few showers and some rumbles of thunder across southern Minnesota here, maybe even into parts of South Dakota as well. But as we get into the afternoon hours, we may see some more development, especially across South Dakota, southwestern parts of South Dakota, and move eastward into the evening hours on Friday evening. Now, this model gives us a pretty decent little line of thunderstorms that want to move from west to east. I don't believe anything that develops, we're not looking at any widespread severe storms. You might have an isolated cell or two that briefly gets to that severe stage of 1-inch hail, kind of like what happened near Sioux Falls on Thursday. But looking here at a different convective model into Friday evening, you can see those storms really don't develop, at least according to this particular model. So I think what's going to happen more so, it's going to be a little more scattered in nature, maybe not quite as organized as what you saw there in that other one where we had that line go through. At any rate, looking for showers and thunderstorms across the south Friday afternoon and into Friday night. And it looks like those showers and storms will continue to kind of push to the north throughout the overnight hours. And as we get into Saturday morning, we see a line of showers, maybe some thunderstorms, maybe a few rumbles of thunder in here at this point as we get kind of late into the morning, closer to that noon hour. And then for the rest of the afternoon on Saturday, those showers continue to move north. Again, with a few rumbles of thunder in there, nothing serious, but just it's going to be a wet weekend, unfortunately, as we go through Saturday and even into Sunday. Sunday morning, we're still looking at the possibility of some shower activity across the north. Then into Sunday afternoon, maybe a few more showers and thunderstorms developing further south, where those temperatures will probably still be just warm enough for allowing some of the convective type of storms to develop. And it may be possible late Sunday into Sunday evening that maybe some of these storms could be strong to maybe just kind of an isolated severe briefly again with that 1-inch hail. But again, we're not looking at anything serious. It's mostly just going to be the garden variety thunderstorms, your early springtime type of thunderstorms. Now, all in all, what's interesting through this as we go through Sunday, as we get into Sunday evening, here's kind of what's roughly expected to fall as far as precipitation. So, through Minnesota, eastern Dakotas, southern parts of South Dakota, anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch of rain might be possible through these areas. And then as you get a little bit further off to the west, we're looking at not as good a chance of rain, closer to that ½ inch or less. But ultimately, so this is kind of where the best chance will be for rain and thunderstorms throughout the weekend. Of course, some areas are going to be a little bit more, just depending on where those thunderstorms exactly develop, because obviously with these storms, you tend to get a little more precipitation. Then obviously there's going to be some areas that don't get quite as much as what's predicted on here. So just keep that in mind. Just know that you guys in here have the best chance for seeing rain through the weekend. So going back to the upper levels in Monday, you can see this low still just kind of hanging there. So there's going to be some spotty showers, some widely scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms into even Monday. And then really as we go through the week, we have these little pieces of energy that kind of break off from this deeper low out here and kind of move off to the northeast. Again, not really looking at any type of widespread thunderstorms or rain, but just some spotty storms through Tuesday and even into Wednesday. But now look, as we get later in the week, what kind of develops in the upper levels, you've got that Omega block once again setting up with that ridge moving over us, which will allow the warm air back into our area. And if that does happen, we do have a nice chunk of energy that wants to eject out of the southwest by sometime late in the week. So things could be getting interesting as we get later in the week. We'll see how things develop. So unfortunately, as we go into the weekend, we're looking at chances of rain and some thunderstorms. So if you got any plans, keep that in mind. Perhaps some of you have prom this weekend, so dates, make sure you have an umbrella for your lovely dates, because obviously you're going to need it. Hey, doing a little social experiment here. I don't know what to call it. I guess a social experiment, but without starting over, without going back to the beginning, write down in the comments what's changed with me since you saw my face at the beginning of this video. So obviously I was on the beginning of the video. What's changed on me since towards the end? To me, I think it's pretty obvious. Maybe it's not as obvious as I think, but I don't know, just did a little dumb thing here. So yeah, don't rewind, don't do it, don't go back, but just write in the comments what you think have changed. Just kind of curious if anybody noticed. All right. How about that? We're just gonna throw a social experiment in, just at the end of a forecast. What the heck? Hey, subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button. That helps me out. And for Region Weather Live, I'm meteorologist Brad Warner. Everybody have a good day.